All right, so we're going to do some linear transformations and see what happens to the statistics that we get when we transform our data. So these are the team salaries for the Lakers, Utah Celtics, Magic, Dallas. If I recognize a team's name, like the Celtics and the Lakers, I know where those guys come from. Some of them I read their cute little name. And I don't know where they're from, so I put down their city. So it's a bit disorganized. This anyway. Lakers being the most having the largest payroll of 91.4 million, and they're the top 10. Um, I don't see who's our local team. Warriors, thank you. Sorry. Obviously, I don't watch too much basketball. Anyway, throw those 10 values in your calculator, and I'm going to need a mean, a median, an IQR, and a standard deviation. 80.56. Standard deviation. Say it again, Charlie. That's fine. There are no rules about how many decimal places. Just do something reasonable. When we're talking about millions, since standard deviations are in the same units as your data, the 5.23 million would be adequate decimal places. We've only gone to one decimal place here with um, with our reported with the reported numbers, so two decimal places is plenty. Median 80.25 and IQR. How do you get the IQR? Q3 minus Q1. Okay, so you do the subtraction for me. 6.3. Do I need to review in the calculator how to get these four numbers? We're good? That's the mean. X bar, it's called. X with a little bar across the top is called X bar. That's the mean. Small letter S or for standard deviation, or you can just write standard deviation or STDDEV, all abbreviated with S for today. Median has no one letter abbreviation, so MED is good for median. And IQR again is the Q3 minus the Q1. Okay, now what we're going to do is, oh, I was supposed to put those there. Hang on. Let me bring those over and not bring that part over. That part. Okay. Hang on. Let me move all these. Yeah, move some of these down here. Now each team is going to have $1 million more dollars. I'm sorry that I got that very messy there. Sorry. All right, so here's how we're going to easily add $1 million more dollars for each team. So in list 2, I'm going to arrow up the top, clear it, do not delete it, as you like to do. And I'm going to take everything in list 1 and I'm going to add $1 million. List 1 plus 1. Boom. Okay. Recalculate your mean, your standard deviation, your median, and your IQR for me. And to do that, yes, you weren't all the way at the top of your list. You got to go all the way to the name list 2. So I do one var stats and you tell it to go on list 2, second 2. Oh, because I put these in, I entered them in my calculator as millions. So my first list, that 91.4 million, I entered it as 91.4. So when I add a million, I'm just going to add one. Yeah, yeah. Okay. What is my new mean? 81.56. Oh, that's not a surprise. We added one to the old mean. What's my new median? 81.25. Not a big surprise here. What's my new standard deviation? Oh, we didn't add one to that. And my new IQR? 6.3. When I simply, yes, sir. That's for the original list. So when you do your one var stats, you have to tell it second list two, and that will give you the one var stats for list two. Did it work? Not two var stats, one var stat. You go to one var stat, hit enter, and then hit second two, and it'll give you the one var stats for list two. Okay, good. All right, so take note. When you're just adding a constant, you don't increase your IQR or your standard deviation. So that should kind of make sense to you. You have not spread those numbers out any further than they were spread out before. You've simply take them all and move them up a space. Okay, let's see what happens if each team gets a 10% raise. So I'm going to go into list 3. Clear out my list 3. And I'm going to take list 1. We're just going to do one thing at a time. Let's go list 1, second 1. And what do I multiply that by to get a 10% raise? 1.1. Good. 1 plus 10%. And there's each team with a 10% raise. Okay. 1.10 is a 10%, is an addition of 10%. Yeah. You need your 100% plus the 10%. Okay. All right. What is your new mean? 88 point what? 62, I'll go. Your new median? 88.27. Now, does your IQR change this time? We've multiplied by a number bigger than 1, each 6.93. Your numbers are more spread out than they were before. And your new standard deviation? 5.75. From our original data to this 10% data, should be a 10% increase of every single number. So what's 80.56 times 1.10? 88.62. You can try a few of them on your calculators, like what's 6.3 times 1.1? 6.93. All right. So when we multiply our numbers times a constant, every one of our measures here, these four statistical measures, gets multiplied by that same constant. Okay, now we're going to give them a $0.75 million raise and 5%. So we're going to do both.